Three, two, one.
Welcome to the show. I am the one and the only Spurge right over there who just actually did a very, very killer show. Daddy Ed, did you watch the show that
I
she
sure
did?
I sure
Damn,
did.
did she do a good job, Daddy Ed? Am I right?
Yeah, she passed the test.
She did pass the test, the one and the only from the A team with RC, the media chair and PR person for Autism Speaks, the one and the only.
Amanda. Hi, everybody.
That's for you. Say something.
I did.
Got it. And then the guy with the second loudest mouth because he is
back. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
the one, the
Absolutely.
only.
Big Daddy Ed.
Can't help y'all selves.
Boys and girls. Been a very
Children
busy
of all
Wednesday.
ages.
I was getting ready to start the entire DX shit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, B-Hawk Live proudly introduces to you the three most craziest people on the world. The SPURG, the double AA team Amanda, and the big, shiny forehead Big Daddy Ed. We are B. There you go. Is that better, Daddy Ed? Is that what you wanted?
That's right.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, that was exhausting.
I know. We have a lot to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Where to start?
About how killer of a game that was and how AJ did an amazing
Amanda.
job.
Start it.
I mean, I have to say, AJ now with playing 3 games with 616 passing yards, quite impressive, everybody. I must say that. So all of you naysayers out there that think AJ may not be the man for the show, idiot, is sadly wrong. Because he is. And that was a great game. And now I'm really excited to see what Peasy has to offer with him coming back, with him being at practice this week. I'm excited to see what he has to offer this week and if that connection with AJ and Peasy will be there. So, Daddy, what'd you think?
How come I'm not getting comments? Or is it just
I know, I'm looking at that. I don't see any comments yet.
Or maybe we just don't have any comments yet.
Maybe we just don't have any comments yet.
Yeah. Hey, you people, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Life is good again.
Gosh, okay.
I mean, look, I will say this. Oh, here we go. The people start popping in, Daddy Ed. You finally wanted them. Here they are, Daddy Ed. Good evening, everyone. I will say this, Daddy Ed, you might have to agree with me. The actual best player on this team might be a dude that wears the number 3 that somebody said was a bum, that somebody said was a loser, that somebody said that he shouldn't even be on the team. The one and the only Marcel Beast Aitman. That's the player on this team that is just rocking it out, in my opinion.
He's going head to head with someone who might have like 5,000 tackles already this season. Mr. Harvey. Mr. Harvey, he's like in double-digit tackles every game. The guy, God.
Yeah, you ain't lying. He is he not?
God, every time they do a play, it's Harvey on the tackle. Harvey on the tackle.
I was looking at the injury report, and actually, let me pull it up first, and I'll talk about it because there is one big thing that I do like. JPZ, baby, full participation. So we finally get to see JPZ back in already a dangerous offense What do we do now? Now, the way that Aikman's playing, the way that, my guy, I've loved him, the triple, the double 88. I've said how great he was. I said how he never drops any passes or nothing. The one and the only Akeem Hands Butler is just tearing it up.
Oh, my. Okay.
Now you have him. You have DS11. You have AJ, who is averaging 205 yards a game. What do you do with PC? Where do you put him?
You definitely have a flow to the offense right now. So that is the $1 million question, because it's not always easy to insert additional weapons into an offense that's already in rhythm. So they're going to have to definitely figure out what piece of the pie he's going to be involved in, and I guess it's you'll find out early and often just what they have in store for him.
Amanda?
Well, it's interesting how a football player can go from having no hands to all of a sudden having limbs. But I feel like the last game was
the best I've ever had. Akeem Hands Butler is the greatest.
Anyway, as I was saying, I do have to give a shout out to our kicker for filling the shoes of a kicker we had last season. I do continue to still look away. You're welcome. Every time it is kicked, but I am interested to see if that relationship AJ has with Butler and with Aikman is going to be the same relationship he has with Peasy when he is back. So, and can we have that man coverage that was put on Kirkland? Are we going to get that? Are the Showboats going to be that way with Peasy? I mean, knowing he's coming back.
You're not actually sticking up for last year's kicker, are you?
No, I just said it's nice
to
have a kicker.
One point he was like 3 for 7 or something like that to start the season. So it's kind of nice to have a kicker you can actually count on making field goals.
Well, seeing as I had him as my kicker when I was in the fantasy football league, thank God I still won and didn't have to use those.
He kicked it in. Second half of the season, he did a lot better.
Well, okay.
You got anything to add, Dirty?
We're talking about Hegeman.
Yeah.
If we let's recall this.
He's too old to play. Remember,
he missed his first. He was 3 for 6 in the first few games. But let me remind you, he won us the game 1 in San Antonio after missing 2 kicks. Won us the game in Seattle after missing a kick.
What am I listening to?
You're saying
after that, Donnie Hageman was the best kicker in the UFL, the XFL. After that, he was.
So you're saying he was missing on purpose so that he could get all the glory at the end of the game? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what he was doing, and that's what you should do. That is what a good team player does. And I'm not bringing this idiot in. He ain't coming in. He ain't allowed in.
Listen,
because all he's going to do is spread his lies, talk about, he wants to say how bad Akeem Butler played all the time, and he's going to say, I'm the one that said it. I never said it. It was this. I'm going to bring him in. But he's the biggest liar of them all.
How dare you sit there and lie on live TV that you love Hakeem Butler.
Hakeem Butler is the greatest tight end of all time. Greatest tight end.
Hey, you hear the lies. You hear the lies coming out of his mouth right there. Sit there and lie.
He's not a tight end, number one.
You sit there and spew these freaking lies.
Yes, Arlington did diss Akeem. See, Eric even knows you would diss Akeem.
No, that was you, sir. Everybody knows it's that dude.
Everybody knows Arlington is lying. Arlington is lying on Dirty.
Yes, John Davis said. You say it all the time, no hands Butler. Now you want to sit there and you want to roll all over in the bed with this dude. You suck. You're horrible. You're a horrible individual. I can't believe you just sat there.
Akeem Butler, the greatest tight end the Battlehawks have ever had. I flip-flop worse than the Big Show did back in the Attitude
Hello,
Era.
somebody. You just admitted it on live TV that you flip-flop. Exactly what you did. That's all I wanted to hear. I'm gone. I'm out of here. That's all I needed. He said he flip-flopped. You heard it. You heard it on this show. Goodbye.
You probably just cost them like 5 car rentals. Because you had to get
probably did.
You had to get on him, and he just totally lost track of the counter. There's probably like 5 SUVs driving down the road right now.
There probably is. Arlington just let 5 SUVs out of the parking lot. But no, I mean, let's really look at this. This team, I'm impressed with this offense, but this defense, I mean, look, here's the other thing. We're missing one of our biggest. We're missing Peta. Messed up the ankle. We're missing Austin Falalula. Didn't practice. Ben DeLuca, knee. Didn't practice.
Mike Rose has been out for a couple weeks.
Right. What we've seen with this Memphis. Well, hold on, Amanda. What we've seen with this Memphis team is this Memphis team can run. And they're good at the running. They're good at the, Krokus is good at those short passes and stuff like that, where we seem to have problems. And now you're talking about we're missing one of our most important D tackles with Austin, and then we're missing one of the most important linebacker in our team, because if you look at it, every time you hear it, it's Peta. It's Peta with another tackle. I mean, are you guys worried about this run offense by Michigan and the short passes that Krokus can do against us? Are you guys worried about that?
No.
Well, sometimes they say a good defense is a good offense. So maybe we're going to have to just control the ball, keep the ball in our hands, and limit the opportunities that they get on the other side.
Amanda?
Well, and shout out to special teams last week too, and they did a great job. I mean, AJ ran in his first TD this season. And I mean, like my dad said, if the offense does their part, the defense should do their part. So hopefully that's the case. But hopefully Memphis misses their kicks again like they did last week too.
It's funny that you say that, because on Twitter this week, after AJ ran in his pass, his brother went on Twitter and said, "Oh God, thank you. Now we're going to have to hear about that 10-yard run for the next 2 weeks." Talking about AJ being sore on the run. Listen, I'll say that. I mean, AJ has been playing very, very good. Like I said, he's averaging 202 yards or something like that in a game for the first 3 games with five touchdowns. I mean, look, I'm worried about this a little because Daddy had, like you said, I mean, you have here where it says G. Peasy comes back, but can you really just throw a guy back into a game when everything has been so good and the passing has been so good with the other receivers? I mean, what do you do?
Well, you got to incorporate them. I'm more worried about the fact that Memphis got their, what's handed to them last week. Because
idiot! He did run in for the touchdown. He got his first rushing touchdown in the last game. AJ did. Thank you. That's all I got to say about that.
Memphis got it handed to him this last week, so I'm sure Coach Flip has been in the ear of his players all week long. I'm more worried about the bounce-back game that I think Memphis is going to have. They're not going to come in here and lay down. They're gonna come in here loaded for bear, and when you fill the dome, it not only excites your players, they like playing in front of a crowd, but so does the other team. So
yeah, Right here. Wes Hill. Wes Hills.
Well, and I
It's a
must
good
say
runner.
I'm interested more so for this game too, because they're both the teams that scrimmage together first. So I'm curious to see, since they're scrimmage, I mean, what changes now, obviously, with all the cuts, that big difference that it's going to make. But don't think for 1 second that Jay Peasy hasn't been on that sidelines watching that interaction that Aitman has with him and, you know, Blake Jackson and Butler and all of them. So I don't think that
I'm glad
they'll
you bring
skip a
up.
beat.
Amanda, I'm glad you bring up Blake Butler or Jackson. Where's he been?
I don't know. I haven't heard his name.
He has totally disappeared.
Right?
So do you think Jay Peasy's going to be working the middle of the field, looking for those soft spots in the zone coverage, or do you think he's going to be working the sidelines? Because I think with Butler and Aitman, with their size, I think they kind of like them being on the, you know, working the wide out as wideouts. And I think you're going to see a lot of Shepard and a lot of Jay Peasy working the middle, working the soft spots, slants, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Amanda, do you want to go first, or you want me to go?
Go ahead.
I would say you use Jay Peasy kind of like a Tyreek Hill type player. You know, like right here. You know, welcome. Hey, hello, Mayor. How are you? Blake Jackson and Jakor were teammates with the Gooch, and you're right. I say you put him on the opposite side of Shepard. Have him running those long deep posts and stuff. You know, where Peasy, because he's got an amazing, for a guy only being 5'6", 5'7", Jay Peasy might have one of the quickest releases I've seen from any UFL player or XFL player, any wide receiver out there. So I would use him more as like a Tyreek Hill. That's how I would use him. Amanda, what do you think?
Well, and I'm curious what AJ and Danucci's passing yards were by this point, because if I remember correctly, they were pretty similar to the passing yards. So, I mean, that really, and don't think for 1 second too that Peasy probably hasn't put, or Blake Jackson hasn't put a bug in AJ's ear of those relationships that they had with Nucci too, and what things work for them on the field, because the things that have worked for Aitman and AJ clearly are working, and with Butler and AJ are clearly working. So I'm curious to see what that would be.
If I'm not mistaken, and Daddy, because I know you really watched a lot. I know you really weren't a Sea Dragons fan, but I know you were a Peasy fan. If I'm not mistaken, Peasy and Danucci at week 3 at this time was a little ahead of where Aikman and AJ McCarron, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? I mean, it wasn't by much. It's not by much, but I know that. I mean, those two were the two biggest names in the XFL in the first 3 years, or in the first year. See, like the mayor says, you know, put Blake and Jakor in the in the slots. Put it at a wide set. Do a 4 wide set. And that's the thing that we saw a lot in Seattle with Peasy and those guys.
Don't think they won't run a few jet sweeps too. But
can you imagine Jay Peasy doing a jet sweep?
And I think you're going to see a couple. I think you're going to see a couple big plays from the tight end too, because as AJ drops back and is looking down the field, they may have a few plays where they hold the tight end, and then he slips out into the flat for a little dump off pass. It's going to be wide open.
Yeah. Amanda, I mean, can you disagree with that? I mean, I'd have to say, yeah, that would have to be it.
No, but I'm also curious to see if Blake Jackson and Pearson, both of them being on the field together, if that'll bring up old times for them and bring that Seattle times back for them. on the field. We can see it in St. Louis. So
It may kind of bring Blake Jackson back a little bit. Get JPZ out there, and he starts getting some familiar players around him again. Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely going to be interesting because whether anybody in St. Louis likes it or not, and I know you two were not fans of the Nooch, but you have to admit he has an arm like AJ McCarron. He may not have been as precise as AJ McCarron, but he had an arm look, we did see it in week 9, how well the three of them they gelled together. Because that was the game we should have.
They pulled the St. Louis greatest show on turf in that week.
Didn't they?
And as much as impressive as they were, I just was not a Ben DiNucci fan. So I mean that has nothing to do with what I thought the ability of Seattle was. So they definitely deserved to be in the playoffs over us. They showed us. They pretty much wiped us clean on our own field. So hard to argue too much.
Well, Amanda, I know you're not a DiNucci fan, but you got to admit that he did have an arm. He did know how to play the game of quarterback, and AJ may have a little more experience. So, do you think that Peasy's sitting there in that ear saying, "Hey, bro, look, that DiNucci is Gucci. You can say DiNucci ain't Gucci because the Nooch ain't Gucci." Do you think that Peasy's sitting there saying, "Hey, man, look, let's go back and watch the tapes. Let's go back and watch the tapes. What I did with the Nooch." You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think he's got anything to prove. I just if he's smart, he tries to see how he can blend in and best become part of the offense. I don't think he comes in with the attitude of I'm here, all you guys take a step back. I don't think that's going to play at all.
I agree with you. I don't think he is, but I think he's saying, "Hey, look, this was the kind of connection. Like maybe he's showing AJ, when I make this cut and you see the ball being there, you know that I'm going to be there."
But I will say this.
Go ahead.
I will say this. The Seattle passing game was way different than a Battlehawks passing game. And it will be very clear this weekend whether when Blake Jackson and Peasy are on the field, if that is a Seattle game or if that was a Battlehawk game. And we will see it this weekend against the Showboats for sure. For sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's in that quarterback room with AJ, or he's sitting there watching tape with AJ, old tape, saying, "Look, when I make this cut, you have this amount of time to get me the ball." You know what I'm saying? Because, that's what the good receivers do. I remember hearing stories of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice sitting in room together watching film. Steve Young and Jerry Rice. Look, I hate Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but you hear the stories of them sitting in the room together, watching game tapes and saying, "Hey, when I cut here, this is how long it's going to take me." Do you think that's what Peasy's doing? I have a feeling, because he hasn't played, that he might be trying to get himself and AJ familiar with each other. Do you think that's a possibility? I'm not saying it is.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
It all comes down to how fast also AJ can get that ball out of his hands. Because there is one thing about Ben DiNucci was that the second that ball hit his hands, that ball was gone. And it was no time. So really, really, this game comes down to the O-line when it comes to that, with how fast he can get that ball out to be able to get it to them. Really. Because Ben was fast.
Daddy Ed, you coach football. Am I wrong? Could that be what they're doing? Could that be what Peasy's doing with AJ?
I think I just see it more as an ease-in game because He's missed
Okay.
quite a few. He's missed quite a few weeks. So, like I said, the offense is starting to get in rhythm. I just think they're going to look for plays that they can incorporate him in. That's going to just not totally break up the flow of what they've got established. You know, I heard earlier before the season started all kind of references made to the wide receiving core for the Battlehawks, but I think the perfect name for the Battlehawks for their wide receiving core is the Battle Dragons, because it's a combination of, you know, Aitman, Hakeem, and Shepard, and Jackson, and Jay Peasy. I mean, if that's not called the Battle Dragon Group, what else is there?
Listen, you're absolutely right.
Not
We had said
Rent-A-Hawks
that.
Call
anymore.
them the
Yes,
Battle
not the
Dragons.
Rent-A-Hawks.
It's AJ
It's
McCarron
definitely
and the
not the
Battle
Rent-A-Hawks.
Dragons.
Right. I think it's like you said, Daddy, and I think it's really going to be interesting. And I think it's interesting how you said, you know, I have a feeling that Peasy's not going to want to ease into it slowly. I think he's going to want to come out and make that name, being that number one receiver that he was last year. I think he wants to come out and say, hey, did you guys all forget about me? I was gone for 3 weeks. Guess what?
Well,
Now
don't you think
the little big man's back?
don't you think they're going to have a couple plays dialed up, especially for him? I think
100%.
I think depending on what the game situation is, they'll dial him up. I'm sure they got some plays in mind, but yeah, I think you're going to see balls all over the place this weekend. It's going to be filling the air.
Amanda, what do you think?
I mean, I'm more excited to see the coaches go against each other because they're good friends.
On that note, Daddy Ed, of course we knew that one. We knew that's what she'd say. And we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to B-Hog Live. That was one of our great sponsors, Wild Sun Winery and Brewery Company, right out there in Hillsboro, Missouri. Hey, listen, if you haven't paid attention to the Fuel Sports Network on Roku and Fire Stick, please go download our app. If you haven't checked us out on our socials, All Fuel Sports, go look it up. But I do have to give some major kudos to my two co-hosts here. You know, if you didn't know, we just started our new women's show, the A-Team with RC, and it's Amanda and Amber, and they did a hell of a good job. I have to say, Amanda, you guys did a very good job for a very first show. You did a great job as one of the hosts. Very proud of you. Keep up the good work. And Daddy Ed, I was watching the Bottom Line show on Monday, and I have to say, Daddy Ed, you guys are at like 25, 30 episodes now. And your hosting and producing skills just keep getting better and better and better. And I just have to say, very good job to you and the guys over the Bottom Line. That's the thing that I have to say about this group that we have. It's a constant growth, and I've seen the growth from all of the people here at Fuel, and I just got to give you both your credit and your applause on the job well done by the both of you.
Well, now I have to give you your credit, sir,
Oh, too bad. We didn't want to know.
for
But
creating
You know,
Go ahead.
I did see someone come across the comment line that you might want to send a link to.
I will. Amanda, go ahead and say
Yes.
what you wanted to say.
I just have to give a lot of credit to you because it's not every day any Joe Schmo that says he won't amount to anything will create a sports network on Roku and Fire Stick, and look at him now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud of him. He's doing.
I did that
he's-
with a lot of help. I had a lot of help.
He's
Arlington, and
not
all
the
you guys.
only one. He's not
Right,
the
yeah, I
only
did it-
one
I
that
did it.
didn't think he wasn't going to amount to anything.
Yeah. I did it with a lot of help from
You
you
throw
guys.
me a softball, I'm hitting that baby out of the park.
I know you did. You hit it right out of the park, Daddy Ed. Do I got to send the link? Where is it? I don't see him, Daddy Ed. Is he in here?
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
see
he
him.
was. He's already hit. He's already rolled, but he's up there.
Oh,
He's watching.
all right. Let's do this.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
we got to
somebody who
we got to
loves
bring
to-
him on. We got to
who
bring him
loves
on.
to
I got to find out if he got all those bone chips out of his teeth the other day.
You mean I mean the non-barbecue that they know how to do down there?
That's right.
Is that what
All
you're
those
talking about, Daddy Ed?
all those breakfast burrito, chicken, whatever. There we go.
Huh?
He just showed up again down there. So you know.
Oh, don't worry. He can go check his messenger. He'll find his dumb link. But I gotta say something right here. Eric brings up a very good point. I want to see how the first UFL team plays in a dome. I bet they're going to be shocked of how loud it is.
You got Michigan.
You got Michigan.
Well,
What
but
are
they
you
haven't.
talking-
They're not playing. It depends upon if he's talking about in a dome
Playing
with
in
that
the
many
stadium.
fans, or whether it's just in a dome in general.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out for well, no, we get it. We get it with Memphis. I mean, look, here's what we've seen with the Battlehawks in the Battle Dome. They're what now, 4-2? Is that right, Daddy?
Yeah, they've been a better road team than they have playing at home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
We've been
saying.
a road team. I think we're what, 5-1 on the road, Daddy?
Yeah, 5-1 on the road, and no, we're yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
you know, like the
No,
Bears is right
we're
here.
2 now. We've lost 2. Got to get.
Yeah,
lost
that
two, like
that
the Bears
that
was
is
right
so
here.
true. That is so true.
Daddy, we were there. It was kind of echoey, wasn't it?
Well, they had a little over 9,000 that first week, but that was with a couple thousand Battlehawk fans in the
That is
last
true.
2
A
weeks.
couple thousand.
The last 2 weeks that they've played since then, they've only averaged 7, so that kind of justifies it. St. Louis had about 2,000 strong at that game.
Yeah, that's true, but who cares about attendance? I'm tired of hearing about attendance. It's a stupid null point
the
because
only reason I say that is because who's the guy who's been saying St. Louis doesn't travel? So
they only traveled for one game, Daddy Ed. Oh, let's see. Is he?
Guy right
Oh,
here.
you know, he looks goofier and goofier every time I see him. Should we bring him in? Should we bring him in, Daddy Ed? Because I mean, he's doing some kind of stupid hand motion. I don't know what that is.
Only if it's going to be the humble version.
You think it
Do
should be?
you have any crow sounds? He's got some crow he's got to eat. I know that.
That is true. I do right here.
There you go.
Oh.
Now you can bring him on. Now you can bring him on.
Ain't no eating crow here in San Antonio, baby.
Well, are you sure? Because you got embarrassed twice.
We did. I'll
You
give you
did.
that.
I mean, look, we
Yeah.
came down in 2023. You guys were winning the whole
Mhm.
game. And what did we do? We kicked the field goal to beat you, right?
4th and 15, baby. The exact reason why the rules are there.
Kick the field goal. Like here, everybody says, you know, John says, the nerd says everybody loves SAJ. Hey, Murphy's on 21 definitely loves it.
So
Did they not?
can I ask SAJ a question because I want his feedback?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've
Here we
got
are.
into go back to last year. It was a 4th and 15.
I'm taking that off.
The fourth and 15 seems a little more daunting that the XFL version was last year versus this year. The 4th and 12 to me is not far enough for a fourth down. But you definitely had us on our heels there at the end of the game last week, and you had a long, sustained drive. My question is, and again, Wade Phillips has coached more in his career than I ever even dreamed about, so I'm never going to – at the end of the day, I'm not going to question his decision. But you've got a defense out there that's had to be on their head. They just got off their heels on a long drive. You had a chance to go a 4th and 12 and put them out there right away again. Instead, you kick it off and you give the defense a chance to regroup, to have the coaches talk to them, to get them prepared for another series. Where I thought if you'd have stuck them right back out there, you guys would have had the upper hand. What do you think about that?
So I of course, am not Wade Phillips either. I can't speak for him. The only thing I could potentially think of was that he thought that maybe he had enough time and enough defense left to be able to, get St. Louis to drive through their plays quickly, give us about 30, 45 seconds left on the clock, and, go for, a really, really quick offense and get, go for that jugular win, if you will. Obviously that was not a good call. That did not work out. Had it been me, without knowing what he knows, the obvious choice would have been go for the 4th and 15, like you said. Try and get that, that last drive opportunity, because it's an all or nothing type situation. I don't know what AJ and Wade saw. I don't know what the defensive coordinator was seeing. I do know, obviously, they knew that Garbers was hurt before we did, because Garbers played the entire game, and I have not figured out when exactly it was that he messed up his wrist, and we don't even know necessarily how bad his wrist injury is.
Do
Obviously,
we want
it's
to
something that's put him out.
Do we want to tip him off, or do we want to just let him keep trying to remember which play it was?
Go ahead.
No,
Daddy,
by all
tip
means.
him off.
Because what I'm hearing, I can't tell you 100% truth, but what I'm hearing is Risk got injured on that late hit penalty in the fourth quarter when we pulled our defensive lineman, and he read the riot act on the sidelines for giving you guys a cheap 15 yards. But
Okay.
there was a late hit on the quarterback in the fourth quarter, I think with like 4, 5, 6 minutes left, somewhere around in there. It was that play that I think they said he got his wrist hurt.
Okay.
That's
makes
what
me feel
we're
even worse then.
Well, that's what I heard. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I guess to double back on the Wade Phillips decision, again, he knows more than me, and he really seemed like he took offense to the sideline reporter that he got in his face at one of the most crucial points in the game. So I understand that part. But when you're looking at the St. Louis offense, and at the time they only really needed a first down to salt the game away. So
Yeah.
Would you rather go for the 4th and 12, which, let's face it, a 4th and 12 is not daunting. It's no different than a 3rd and 10 in my eyes. So do you go for the one play 4th and 12? Do you think that gives you a better chance? Or do you think giving the Battlehawks 3 plays to go 10 yards is a better decision? That's what I'm weighing back and forth. But again, I'm not going to second guess them. I'm not going to be. But all I know is we was at the watch party, and the minute you guys scored that touchdown, everybody said 4th and 12. And when you didn't do it, everybody was like, "What are they doing? What are they doing?"
Yep.
So
it was funny. Go ahead, Jay.
So all I was going to say was, this is, obviously a little bit different league, a little bit different gameplay than the NFL. As the saying goes, you got to risk it for the biscuit, right? I would have gone for the 4th and 12 because we literally had nothing to lose other than the game. We were already behind. If we went for it and didn't make it, what did we lose? Nothing, because we had already lost the game at that point. That's exactly, St. Louis did the exact same thing to us in our house last year. They risked it. Beck made the right call. I hate the fact that the rule worked in your favor, but that's 100% what it's there for, right? It's for coaches and players to push themselves past that comfort zone, if you will, and try and take those big shots and those big chances, right? Because you don't win if you don't take a chance. So we really should have, I think, gone for it. But again, as Daddy Ed said, we're not Wade Phillips. We don't know what he was thinking. We don't know what he saw. Maybe it was because, Garbers was hurt at that point, and he was like, look, I don't know that we're going to be able to pull it off. So let's just see if we can hold them on defense, get decent field position, and then try and air it out and go from there. Who knows?
Go
right?
ahead,
We're not the coaches. We'll never know.
Well, and what's crazy is that, no offense, but I would have thought y'all would have learned. But last year when it happened and special teams came out, bad idea. Then this year, did I not say when we were at the watch party, I said, same thing is going to happen. You watch. Same thing. And the roles were reversed. Y'all had the opportunity to do it like we had the opportunity last year, and y'all didn't take it.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
No, it's just, you look at all the years and years that Wade spent in the NFL. And, in the NFL, when you have those decisions at the end of the game, I got all my timeouts. I got all my timeouts. Do I kick it deep or do I onside kick? Well, now in this league, the onside kick is kind of irrelevant. Gets replaced by a 4th and 12. Does he get so ingrained in his head, it's 2 minutes left, I got all my timeouts, you kick it deep. And he hasn't quite made that transition to the UFL rules yet as far as going for it.
Yeah, I would argue that he actually has, because remember, Phillips was with Houston last year, and Houston was a serious contender. It was, that third game against Arlington that bumped them out of contention, and I think it was because they did not prepare for Perez correctly like they should have, right? Perez was with the Renegades at that point. He had already been making waves, and I don't think Phillips quite made that connection that, hey, man, this quarterback's really dangerous. We really need to shut him down on defense.
Did you hear that, Daddy Ed? Did you hear what quarterback he said is really dangerous?
You mean the 0-3 Perez?
This year, yes. This year, yes. Last year, not so much. Last year, he was pretty dangerous. This year, and actually, if you look at the game last week, right?
Exactly.
Flashes of last year's Perez was there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you. It's defense.
I'm not, and I don't ever, I hope everybody knows, when I say the 0-3 Perez, I'm not saying it as that I don't think he's a good quarterback. I just want to reach the point where everybody in this league can talk about Perez without always having to say he's the best spring quarterback we've ever seen. The best
6,000 yards.
It's just, Coach, just call him Perez, just like you say McCarron or you say
Mr.
It's
6,000
like, why do they
yards.
always have to say he's the best spring quarterback? It's just
6,000 yards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like Jason saying, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say there also aren't a whole bunch of examples of, long-term spring league quarterbacks like Perez. He's played spring ball most of his career. So,
That is true.
In those rights, he kind of made himself a legend by being able to capitalize on the spring league system. So,
Well, can I say this?
I get what you're saying.
I think.
Wait, stop, hold on. Why are we sitting here kissing this man's butt with all the trash he talking about how he was going to do this, talking about how great his barbecue was? We were in Texas. Texas chicken wing barbecue is terrible. They don't know how to cook chicken wings in Texas. It's ridiculous. Jason, when you come to St. Louis, we're going to show you how to really cook chicken wings and oysters. You're going to get some Rocky Mountain oysters.
No.
While you're here.
That's what we're going to be serving to you in St. Louis. But I can promise you that my battle chicken fajitas and my battle chicken wings were absolutely delicious. Your own carnivorous species enjoyed them the most, including delicious, cold, refreshing Brahmas beer. And I've got pictures to prove it.
Oh, I'll give you that. The Brahmas beer is really good. I'll give you that one. The Brahmas beer is really good. Not as good
So
as
is
the
that-
Hog Live beer.
I will say the
That's-
Wild Sun beer was flowing up north
is
here
true.
too.
Yeah, and the
Sun
Wild
beer.
Sun, the Beehawk Live beer is pretty good. I'm still partial to Texas beers myself. But what I definitely know is that we're going to be making sure when we come up and see you guys in June that we're going to be bringing our own accoutrements, right? We're going to show you guys how to really tailgate because I don't care what you say.
Sure.
Ain't no
Well, hold
tailgate
on.
better than
Hold
the
on,
Texas
hold
Listen,
on.
tailgate.
dude,
Stop
just
the
remember
clock.
where you're staying.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
come in
Stop
town.
the clock
Okay?
here.
Remember where you're staying.
At the Salvation Army.
This is a family show. We can't cuss. This is a family show. We can't cuss. I just said stop the clock. Stop the clock. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken,
my
you
water.
guys have like
Wait.
200 people at your tailgate compared to the 15,000 we have at our tailgate.
That's not true at all, sir, and you know
Oh,
that.
I've seen it firsthand. It's like 200 people here and there. And I'll give you this. You guys got some nice Southern hospitality. Hey, buddy, come on over. Let me take you out to
What
the
is happening?
So-
and put you
So
some booze.
let me flash you back to the week 1 game in which you came down and met us, and you were partying with about 8,000 of us out in the
About
parking
200
lot.
people. 200 people.
8
That was
8,000,
8,000 people,
and I've
you
got
know it,
the
sir.
pictures of you enjoying it to prove it.
Hold on, I
And-
didn't say that. I
and-
didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Hang on.
Didn't say that.
Championship weekend, in which you were still partying with pretty much the same.
Oh
at
no!
least
See, that was
4,000 or
different. No, it
5,000
wasn't,
Brahmas
Paul.
fans.
We had fans from all over. We had a representative from every team. I mean, you guys probably had maybe 300 Brahmas fans at that tailgate. The rest were
Man,
other people.
It's not about attendance and numbers, remember?
No, you know.
you need to go back to doing your high school math courses because man, you
Well,
can't
that's
count
why
at
it's
all,
called
bro.
dirty math. That's why it's called dirty math. My math
Oh,
is
okay.
just a little off by a couple thousand numbers.
I'll take that. But yes,
That's how
no,
that
I
works.
100% make sure that you guys are recording this. I know that you are. I 100% SAJ has been humbled. I talked the trash. I was completely wrong. We got outplayed from the start by St. Louis. Absolutely bothers me to say that. But you also know that as arrogant and cocky as I am, I will admit when we've been defeated. And unfortunately, that game, we got defeated. However,
Yeah, see, like the
I
mayor
am
says
so-
here, I was wearing shoes. That's why I couldn't count.
there you
Yes,
go.
my math book ended 10.
Hey,
That was a good one, too.
if you pull your shorts down, you can count to 21. But that's a whole different thing.
I doubt that one. I doubt that.
No.
Now, Jay,
20 and a
we're
half?
coming into
Whatever.
town.
Listen.
You'd be
Let
like
me finish before you boot me
20.
off.
What
Let-
the
No,
hell?
I'm
me
not, because
Finish before you
we're
boot
gonna
me
make a
off.
bet. We're gonna make a bet. You
Okay.
guys are coming to town June 1st,
Yes.
right? Okay. I like to make dumb
At least
bets.
10 of us.
Right. I like to make dumb bets. As you see right here next to me is my Brahmas flag. My second
Yes.
favorite team in the league, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a bet with you
Why are
I'm
you
gonna show you-
stroking the flag?
because I love it. It feels so good. So good.
He used to do that with the Seattle flag, too. He used to do that with the Seattle flag, too. So
I'm gonna make a bet with you. You ready?
Yes.
This is how we're gonna drop the ovaries and grow a set.
Would
Okay?
you say it? He's going to be home by the time you give him what the bet is. for
I
crying
say
out
the Battle Hawks. If the Battle Hawks lose to your Brahmas, I will get a Brahmas tattoo.
No, we're not. All right.
And if the Brahmas
Nope.
No, we're
lose,
not.
Nope.
you have to get a Battle Hawks tattoo.
Nope.
I knew it.
Nope.
I knew you did have a set. I knew it. Just
Why?
go
You
to the
will not-
you had a Battlehawks tattoo on your face at our last benefit we had.
That's true.
That
You
was
did.
face paint, sir. That was face paint that came right off.
All right. I got
Tattoos
another
don't come
bet
off.
for you.
You have to face
Are you
paint
ready?
your faces.
I got another bet for you. You come
Okay.
to the game. When you come to the game, June 1st,
That's so.
regardless of who wins or loses, I will wear San Antonio Brahma gear into the game, and I will cheer for the Brahmas. You have to
Ooh.
wear St. Louis Battlehawk gear and cheer for the Battlehawks.
First of all, you got to
Oh.
own some first.
No, the bet has to be he has to treat his own the way he treats the visiting team when he's doing that. So when he's in Memphis and he spent the whole game not even watching it because he's turning around, egging on the crowd, he's got to do that.
You don't
to
know
his
that
brother.
that's true. You don't have proof of that.
We know it's true. We got our
They had to
sources.
keep filling you in on what was happening in the game because you wasn't even watching it.
I
Look,
turned
so
around
here's the
when we had the ball.
Right, here's the deal. So we can't make the bet, but I'll do it. I will go to the Battlehawk Brahma game in Brahmas gear and cheer for the Brahmas. You
Let's
have
do
to go
this.
in with Battlehawk gear and cheer for the Battlehawks.
Let's do this. I'm going to
Okay.
switch your bet up
Wearing a
just a
hat.
little bit.
All right.
Just a little bit, right? Because I want you to be able to support your team during the game
I can care
and
less.
be able to commiserate with your team when they lose. Let's do this.
Okay.
When my San Antonio Brahmas beat your St. Louis Battle Chickens, you will come out of the game wearing Brahmas gear in front of your team. No, you know what? I don't want to do that because you St. Louis people get a little crazy about your team. So we will go to a neutral site and we will take pictures with you in Brahma gear where you're safe. Okay? And if the San Antonio Brahmas somehow manage to lose, we will go to
When they
same
lose.
said neutral site. And you can take pictures of me in St. Louis Battlehawks gear. How's that?
No.
Face paint and
Right
everything.
right here. No, I got it. Right here. We'll do it at the championship game.
Okay.
So
But
if
I'm not
the
keeping the Brahmas, I'm not keeping the St. Louis stuff on for the game.
Well,
Oh,
first of
no,
all, we
see,
know the
that's not
Brahmas aren't going to get into the championship game anyways. So we already know that.
That's not a bet. No.
Our tickets-
no.
Our tickets already been paid for on last season's performance.
Okay.
We're getting
I'm
it,
just
sir.
telling you, you're not getting in the championship game.
No,
So in the
listen,
championship game, regardless of what team makes it, you have to wear Battlehawk gear, and I have to wear Brahma gear
to the game.
And you know what? It
After
sounds
the
to me. It
tailgate.
sounds to me
During
like
the game.
sounds to me like Dirty just wants to wear Brahma gear. If you want to wear Brahma gear, wear Brahma gear. I don't care.
Well, because he pansied
that's what
out
I'm
with the
hearing.
tattoo idea.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
I am not defiling my body with a St. Louis tattoo. I'm sorry. No matter
Well, I
what.
wouldn't want to defile my body with a Brahmas tattoo.
No,
But
what
I
you do,
promise-
SAJ,
I don't know. It was your idea. So
what you do, SAJ, is you get a tattoo of wings across your chest, right?
Yes, see?
So it looks like you're soaring, and then as you get older, it'll start like you're swooping in. Be like you're
Well,
swooping in.
It is pretty genius. That is pretty.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just worry about that sword, man, because that sword's going to be drooping pretty low when I get older.
There you go. There you
But-
go. The mayor says it at the XFL Conference Championship game if they're playing. We'll do it then.
Okay.
We'll do it at the championship game. Either way.
Okay.
Deal?
Okay. Deal.
All right, there
I'll
you
take
go.
that bet.
Give us your pick against who do the Brahmas play this week, Amanda?
We're playing them.
Go ahead, SA.
We're playing the
Oh, go
Michigan Kitty Litter crew.
Oh, okay.
and-
So who you picking?
I'm picking San Antonio.
You
I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay, good. That's why you're dumb. I'll
Okay.
tell you this: you do realize who is 11-1 in their picks this season, right?
See,
This guy.
I'm surprised you can count to 11. That's amazing.
I know it's very
I'm
hard.
so
I have
proud
to
of you.
write it down in Roman numerals. I have to
I'm
write
so
it down
proud
in
of you.
Roman numerals.
Well, you know,
I'm telling you,
SAJ,
it's Michigan.
Michigan is trying to hijack our saying. We say "caw is law." They started chanting "paw is law."
Hey, I like
So
Paul's
that's-
law way better.
That's because they own you, though. So, I mean, they could change your saying.
He's got
I'd
us
watch
on
what
that
you
one.
say down there.
All right, SAJ. Tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on the Horns Forward podcast on Facebook and Twitter, which is now X. You can find us on YouTube. You can also find me at Texas Talking Football at the exact same locations. And you can also guaranteed find me at the championship game when San Antonio takes on Birmingham and wins the championship. Boom!
Wearing St. Louis colors. There you go. Bye. See how that works? He'll be wearing St. Louis. Bastard. Who the hell does he think he is? This is B-Hawk Live. This is our show. I don't even know what the hell we talked about for the last 55 minutes. Do you guys?
Cutting stuff, man.
I know, right? It's amazing how fast this show goes. Is it not? All right. It's to our picks. Do we really need to do our picks because we've all done them on all of our shows already? I mean,
no.
Do we really need to do them?
No, I just did mine.
It's pretty much a clean sweep, right?
Yeah, I picked St. Louis. Yeah. I think we all did that, right?
So the better prediction would be, are we going to see a top hat in the Dome this season?
We might see a top hat at the championship game. And if the top hat wants to make to the championship game, the top hat will have a place to stay at no charge. Let's just say that.
Always
and yes,
welcome.
He can
Chris,
represent the Battle Dragon wide receiving.
That is
corps.
right, Chris. I am always right. I am always right on everything. Well, I mean, what else do we have? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but the way the fans.
One thing that we haven't talked about, did you guys do anything with the, we partnered up with the St. Louis Battlehawks on upper deck tickets.
Oh, Jay, you are absolutely right. Let me do this real quick. See, Daddy Ed, I've been so busy all day long. Where did you send it to me, Daddy Ed?
Your email.
Hold on. I have it. There it is. Rock Dark.
We are going to be distributing a QR code, but also a link. The B-Hawk Live is partnering with the St. Louis Battlehawks for a general admission ticket that's going to be sold, any of the 400 seats. It's going to be sold at $19 a ticket, and $5 of that $19 goes directly to Confluence Academy, to their Aspire elementary pre-K school. $5 goes towards purchase of library books. So it's a continuation of our Fill the Shelves drive that the Battlehawks have committed to partnering with us through the whole regular season. So for the remaining 4 home games, if you use our link, use our QR code that the Battlehawks have provided us, any tickets you buy in the 400 level, $5 of that ticket's going directly to Aspire to go towards the purchase of books.
And so we will have that.
We want to thank the Battlehawks for agreeing to partner up with that. That's a pretty cool cause.
Yeah, listen, if you guys don't have your season tickets yet, use that code. And also, we have a friend of the show, Jennifer Brown. Go to her page. She has a group on there where they're actually helping. If you don't have season tickets, use our code one dime. Use hers because they're doing a fundraiser for the Junior Warriors football out there too, and those kids get that money. So you ain't got season tickets and you want to go to games, that's how you do it. Also, Hyena, talk about that.
So this is also a part of the Fill the Shelves as well. As you can see, there's 2 QR codes at the top. Spurge, Daddy Ed, and I will be at the tailgate this weekend, and we will personally be walking around with this. If you would like to make donations for books, also, this is for us that we will go out and get them. But also, please, if you can, bring new or gently used hardback books for this new library. We would really appreciate it. And then you can find us at the tailgate. We will be walking around as usual.
And I will have a limited I will have a limited amount of wild sun beer to hand out for all you guys that are too dependent on beer to tailgate. When we have an 11:30 a.m. game, you might want to get checked out a little bit, but I will have a limited amount of wild sun beer that we'll be handing out. If come over and say hi, and you might just walk away with a B-Hawk beer.
Right, and it's
That is
11:30 game time start, so I am sure everyone will be at this tailgate early. So please, everyone, if you can bring your books and step over and see us, please do.
And if you're wondering where our tailgate's at, just look for the flags and look for the big banners that we'll have out in front of our tailgate. It'll be hard to miss.
And also, the
With that
Battlehawks
being
sent out this week an email to everyone for the next 4 home games also to be able to purchase those. So also go on the UFL website to purchase the last 4 home games of the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's support the UFL, everyone. So
No, use those 2 QR codes. With that being said, this is B-Hawk Live. We will see you guys next